Hey, how's it going, everybody? Tim here, the Frugal Travel Guru. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about and show how to book a Greyhound bus ticket online with Greyhound.com. I've talked in many of my other videos about booking online, either with Greyhound.com or with the Greyhound mobile app. I think it's a way better option than buying your ticket at the station or buying it over the telephone or any other option. One of the big things about it is, in some cases, it saves you money, and I also think it's just way less of a hassle. There's no standing in line, there's no dealing with other people. It's just you, your computer, and getting your ticket booked. But I wanted to make this video today in case there were some people out there who had never booked online with Greyhound.com and just didn't know what to expect or kind of how to go about doing it. I wanted to just show how easy it is and why I really like Greyhound's website. There are some things about Greyhound that aren't, up to date and modern. We've talked about these before, but their website definitely is. They get mad kudos from me for their website. It's modern, it's up to date, it looks good, it's easy to use. Never had any problems with the Greyhound website. So let's jump into it. What we have right here is the home page. If you type in greyhound.com, this is the page that will pop up. One of the things I really like about it is it makes it very easy to find the section where you need to go to enter your trip information. I've been to other travel websites and you had to kind of search all over the page and click on different links to get to the point where you needed to enter your information. Not here. It's right here. You can get right to it. Before we do that, though, I want to talk real quick about road rewards. You see right here is where you can enter your road rewards information. Road rewards is Greyhound's free rewards program, and I highly recommend anyone who's traveling on Greyhound join Road Rewards. It's easy to do. It takes a couple minutes. There's no hassle to that either. And even if you're not someone who travels on Greyhound a lot, if you sign up for Road Rewards, you instantly get a 10% off option for your next trip. So even if this is going to be like the only Greyhound bus trip you're going to be taking in your life, take the 2 minutes, sign up for Road Rewards, and then you will get 10% off the trip you're about to book. So, I mean, there's really no downside to you. So, I highly recommend Road Rewards. Now, let's get down to the actual booking of a trip. Super easy to do. Pretty much all you need to know is where you're leaving from, where you're going, and the date you want to leave. So, let's just say Atlanta. Ooh, spell it right. Spell it right, Tom. Oh boy, Atlanta, Georgia. And then let's go to one of my favorites, Seattle, Washington. And you'll notice in some instances, more than one option will pop up right in here. The one you want, the main station will typically be the first one, or it'll be the one that just says city and state plainly, like Seattle, Washington. There will be other ones that may say something like Amtrak or airport or hospital or something else. But the main station, the one you probably are going to want, will just be the one that has the city and the state. So we'll click on that. Departure date, let's go like a month or more in the future. Let's go September 27th. And then we're just going to do a one-way trip. But if you were going to do a round trip, you just click here, put that date in there. If not, you can just X out of it. Here, you just put in the number of passengers. We're going to do one. Discount options, if you have a student advantage card or you're a veteran. And if you have a promo code, you can just enter it here and you're done. Like when you go to checkout, the savings from the promo code will automatically be deducted from your final total. So now we just go here and go to search. Takes it a little bit to do its work its magic in the background. And boom, here we are. And one of the things I really like is that it shows you not only the date we picked, Wednesday, September 27th, but it also gives us a full week of other days and the cheapest rates that come up. And you will see, as I've mentioned before, a lot of times when you travel during the week, the middle of the week, the rates are cheaper than when you travel on the weekends. So in this case, $139 is the cheapest price throughout the whole week. $151. On the weekends, there isn't a cheaper price. There will be sometimes when you do this and maybe you were trying to leave on a Thursday and there might be a price on Monday and Tuesday that's, 20, 30 bucks cheaper. But it really is kind of a cool feature here. So if you have some flexibility in your schedule, sometimes you can get a cheaper price. So moving on down the screen here, we get to some really important stuff. What we have here is the two routes that are available. We got schedule 1194 and schedule 1192. And in this instance, we can see that the pricing is the same for both of them. Sometimes there will be different prices for the different routes. This time the pricing is the same for both of them. And here we have the breakdown of the pricing based on what ticket you buy. And if you click like right here, it will show you a graphic about what extras you get with each kind of ticket you buy. I'm not really going to go into that. If you're about to book a ticket, I'll let you kind of look at that and figure out which one is right for you. One thing I will say though is that the flexible ticket is the only one that's refundable. And for me, that's kind of the only deciding factor that really means anything. But I still always go with economy, just because when I book a Greyhound bus ticket, I'm pretty much going to take it, I know, and if I don't take it, I'll just eat that $139 before I pay $300. Like, it just doesn't. The flexible tickets definitely seem to be way overpriced for me. I always go economy, and economy extra just doesn't even, I don't even get it. But yeah, look into it for yourself. Figure out which fare you want to take. Me personally, I always take economy. Now, jumping back over here, the different routes here, we see the departure times. This one leaves at 5:10, this one is 7:15, and then the arrival times. This one leaves at 7 a.m. And it shows you that it's a 3-day trip. This one would be not leaving, would be getting to Seattle at 7 a.m. It's a 3-day trip. This one will be getting to Seattle 3 days later at 12:30 p.m. So depending on kind of your schedule, you might want to pick, based on the times. If you want to leave at 5 or leave at 7, it's kind of up to you. Over here we have the length of the trip in hours. So you see here that it is 64 hours and 50 minutes. The second route is actually 68 hours and 15 minutes. So it's about 4 hours longer. That can be the deciding factor in figuring out which route you want to take. And another thing, it also shows you the amount of transfers. They both have 4 transfers. So kind of similar routes. The timing is different. The hours are a little longer on one, but the price is the same. Now, something very important. The feature I like the most is you can go in and you can view the itinerary and you can see pretty much city by city where the bus is going to be, what time it's going to be there, and more importantly, it lets you see your transfers and your layover times. So if you click View Itinerary, it will pop up the entire itinerary of your trip. Once again, we're leaving Atlanta, Georgia, 5:10. Then it shows like a lot of the stops in between where nothing really, there's not really a transfer, it's just kind of a stop. So like in Chattanooga, you're going to arrive at 7:25, leave at 7:45. So it's a 20-minute stop. It's kind of one of those stay on the bus. If you want to get out and smoke a cigarette, you probably can, something like that, use the bathroom, but not really a big deal. This one here in Nashville is an hour and 30 minutes, so that will probably be one where you'll get off the bus, you'll be issued a reboarding pass, and then you'll hang out in the station for that hour and a half, and then you'll get to reboard the bus and then leave. So this is long enough that you'll probably have to get off the bus. And I like the fact that I can see that here in the itinerary. So I'm already planning on that. When I get to Nashville, I know, I'm going to get off, maybe get something to eat, stretch my legs, use the bathroom. So I already know this. I like that about the website. And then it just moves on along. Down here we got Louisville, Kentucky, Indianapolis. And then when we get to Chicago, we have our first layover, and I like the fact it allows me to see my layovers. I know that I'm going to get to Chicago 8:35 in the morning. I'm going to leave at just after noon. That makes it a 3-hour and 26-minute layover. Now, for one thing, I like to know where my layovers are going to be because there are some stations I don't like. For instance, Chicago is a station I really don't like, and I probably wouldn't want to be there for 3 hours and 26 minutes. So I keep that in my head while I'm, searching the itineraries. That there is something on this trip. This one I really not totally sold on. We go down here to Minneapolis, which is actually a station I really like. An hour layover there. That's cool too. Plus, I want to look at the layovers and see. I like my layovers to be 45 minutes or longer. So if the bus is running late, I'm not afraid of missing it. So both of these layovers have been longer than that. So that is a plus about this trip. And then moving on down, our last layover is in Billings, Montana. It's an hour and 30 minutes. Actually, excuse me, that's not our last one. Sorry. Our next one is in Billings, Montana, hour and 30 minutes. That's cool. Missoula, Montana, 2-hour layover. Okay. So all in all, and then it shows some of the other, cities you're going through. So all in all, not a bad trip. I like the fact that all the layovers were longer than 45 minutes. They're pretty long. But, Chicago isn't one of my favorite stations. So I would go and hide that itinerary and then view this next one. And then I would check and see kind of what the layovers were there. See, here's a problem. The first transfer we have only has a 35-minute layover. I really don't like that. The next was in St. Louis. It's an hour. Well, that's not a bad one. We got one in Denver. That's an hour. That's not bad either. Denver's a cool station. Let's move on down. Then we have one in Stanfield, Oregon. That is 5 hours and 30 minutes. And it's at 1:20 a.m. in the morning. This little E here has me a little skeptical because that's showing that it's not, I believe, a real station. And since it's overnight, there could be an issue here. I actually think I have researched this station before, and I think it is not a real Greyhound station. It's kind of a roadside thing, and I was a little iffy about it. So that would make me, combined with the fact that it's overnight, don't think it's at a real station, and it's 5 hours. I don't want to be stranded somewhere in the cold in Oregon for 5 hours. I probably wouldn't take this route. I probably would go back and do the other route, even though it goes to Chicago. But at least on that one, all the layovers were longer than an hour, and there were no other problems. Plus, it's 4 hours shorter. So I would probably go ahead and get the economy on this route here. You click on that. It says book this fare. Once again, you let it do its thing. My computer's being a little slow. All right, okay. Here we go. Okay. And then all you have to do is enter your passenger details, first name, last name. If you've already signed up for Road Rewards and you're logged in, it'll pop up right there. You go down and then you just payment details, credit or debit you're going to typically use when you're booking online. If you're buying a ticket for someone else, you would you're going to have to put the cardholder's information in here. But if you're buying it for yourself, you're good. Then you put in some of your contact information, your basic stuff. Just real quick, it shows you the price over here. There's always going to be kind of this $2.50 fee or whatever, just going to make the ticket just a little bit more expensive, but our total $141.50. And the final thing I want to mention down here, super important, your ticket options. You can either print your ticket at home, and then it tells you here that you are going to need your ID to get on the bus if you print your ticket at home, or you can get it at the will call, which means you pick it up at the station, and then they allow you to put in a pickup password. I have used this before. A lot of times they don't ask for it. I just use my confirmation number or I use my name, but sometimes if there is some type of issue, I know some people have said they didn't have their ID and they use this password. I always put one in there, but I rarely ever use it. Me personally, I always do will call just because I don't want to print my ticket out and there be some kind of hassle. My printer printed it backwards or wrong, or my printer ran out of ink. I just would rather pick it up at the station, get a bona fide Greyhound bus ticket from Greyhound. I know I'm not going to have any problems. So after you enter all that information, you just click here, and then you would click Pay Now. Goes through. If you've got money on your debit card or credit card, it does its thing, pops up a confirmation number, and then you're done. So I'm going to have to wrap this video up because it's coming up on 15 minutes, but that is how you book a ticket online at greyhound.com. Hope this was helpful and enjoy your trip.